Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I would like to apologise for my recent break from making videos. Now, as many of you know, there was a sudden death in the family at the start of this year. But now that I've had the time to pull myself together and get back out there for you guys, I also want to say I appreciate the patience and support you have given me over the past few months. So to let you guys know, I'm currently working on the Araxi guide and a couple of other videos. But for now, I might as well finish the God Wars 1 series because I've had a few asking about Zilly, so without further ado, let's get on with it, shall we? So her combat level is 596 with 60,000 life points. Her regular hit is around 1.8k with melee, and her special attack with mage can hit up to 2.2k. She does not poison and is also aggressive. Moving on to the requirements. You will need level 80 plus combat stats and the completion of the Troll Stronghold quest. You will also need 60 plus agility or 60 plus strength to enter the God Wars 1 dungeon. You will also need level 70 agility to enter Zilyana's encampment. So if this is your first time going to God Wars 1, you will need to bring your climbing boots and a rope. Here is a list of some useful items. So first up we have adrenaline and replenishment pots. Now these are good to have if you are planning on getting faster kills. So you can start off with the sunshine and rotate through those thresholds and bleeds such as wild magic, corruption blast and asphyxiate. So next up is the Stone of Jazz boost, which increases your damage by 5%. Now to get there you can use the fairy ring in Yaniel, or if you're maxed you can attune your max portal there. The enhanced Excalibur, which gives you free heals every 5 minutes. Now to unlock the effects of this sword you need to complete the Hardseer's village achievements and then speak to the Lady of the Lake and she will sort that out for you. Next we have the bonfire boost. Now this could save your life as it boosts your HP. So all you have to do really is add 5 logs of the same type in a row to a bonfire and you shall get the boost depending on what logs you've used and how high your fire making level is. Now this also stacks with the thermal bath. We also have the Ancient Elven Ritual Shard. Now this restores 37.5% of your total prayer points over 30 seconds with a 5-minute cooldown. It's kind of like the enhanced Excalibur's effect, but for your prayer. Now if you don't have this item, don't worry about it. We also have some magic notepaper. Now this is very useful to have as it will save you some space, allowing the items to stack in your inventory. Now this is a really good one to have unlocked, the Totem of Intimidation. This allows you to skip kill counts at the God Wars dungeon except for Nex. The War's Retreat Portal. Now to access this location you need at least combat level 60. Once you have that, you will also need a kill on the boss that you want to attune the portal to. Then you will have free access to Zilly and the bank if you are struggling on staying on long instances. The Advanced Gold Accumulator. Now what this item does is it will collect all your coins for you so you don't have to move and you can just focus down your DPS on Zilly. Now to unlock this item you need to buy this from the rewards trader in the camp south of Daemonheim or from Wythen in Prith. It will cost you about 1.5 mil dungeoneering tokens. And another good one is the Spring Cleaner. Now this item it can either break down certain drops into components that make it or alchemize them for you. And finally, an extra familiar pouch. Always make sure to bring an extra pouch if you plan to stay the whole hour, as you do not want your bits and bobs dropping on the floor. Now moving on to the gear. Now bear in mind, these are just example presets, you don't have to use the same preset, but if you want to, you're more than welcome to. Now as you can see, I've displayed 2 presets. The one above is for the lower tier and the lower levels, and the bottom is the higher stats and the higher gear. Now I know there is a way you can AFK Zilyana, and that is with the Staff of Inquisitor. But to be honest with you, the cost of the staff isn't worth doing that unless you already own one. So, in my weapon slot is the Staff of Light. Now you can also use the Zuriel Staff, the Virtus Wanden Book, Chaotic Staff, Attuned Crystal Staff, which is after the Plague's End quest, Inquisitor Staff, Limitless Staff, Seasinger Kibber and Maki Gai, Staff of Darkness, Wand of Seawere Elders and Orb of Seawere Elders, Obliteration Staff, Superior Zuriel Staff, Elite Seasinger Kibber and Maki Gai, Seismic Wand and Singularity, Noxious Staff, Wand of the Appraisal and Imperium Core, and Staff of Sliske. So for the armor slots, I'm currently using Seasingers because it has a nice defense stat and can protect you against those high lightning mage attacks that Zilly does. Now you can also use Subjugation, but you'll probably need to ban because I've tested this out myself. Now you can also use Garnodermic, Basic Zuriels, Anima Core of Seren, Virtus, Superior Seasingers, which is unlocked and made via ports, Refined Anima Core of Seren, and finally Superior Zuriels. As for the boots, I'm using the boots of Subjugation. Now you can also use Garnodermic boots, Virtus boots, Blast Diffusion boots, Superior Seasingers Asari, which is unlocked and made through ports, Rage Fire boots, Hail Fire boots, and finally Enhanced Blast Diffusion boots. As for the gloves, now I'm using Subjugation gloves. You can also use Gynodermic gloves, which has more of a defense stats, Spellcaster gloves, which are obtained through the Dominion Tower, Virtus gloves, Superior Ceasing Zanari, which is made via player-owned ports, Static gloves, and Celestial hand wraps. Now in my ammo slot, as you can see, I brought along with me one Saradomin arrow. Now this is to stop the followers from being so aggressive while I'm getting my KC. Now bear in mind, if you have the Zaros shard, that will do the job itself. In my necklace slot is the Blood Amulet of Fury for those nice heals when killing the minions. Now you can also use the Arcane Blood Necklace, Dragon Rider Amulet, or Amulet of Souls. In my ring slot, I have the Seer's Ring for that nice 17 magic bonus stat, along with the Enhanced Luck Potion. Now you can also use the Asylum Surgeon Ring, Ring of Death, Luck of the Dwarves, Ring of Vigor, and the newly released ring called Channeler's Ring. In my Scrimshaw slot, I've put a Sign of Life to protect myself in case my HP drops too low. Now you can also use the Scrimshaw of Elements, or the Illuminated God Book of Wisdom, or the Illuminated God Book of Lore. You can use the standard God books as well. Now as for auras, now you can use the Vampirism aura for the extra heals if you are still struggling to maintain your HP with the Blood Necklace alone, or you can opt out for the Dark Magic aura, Runic Accuracy aura, or the Manacle aura. Now, if you're going to use the Manacle aura and you've never used it before, it makes you take more damage, so I would definitely recommend to have some practice with it before you venture off to any hard-hitting bosses. As for the high levels, if you're going for the AFK method, I'd recommend to use the auras such as Penance, Reverence. However, if you don't plan to AFK and you want fast kills, I'd suggest the Manacle aura. Now one more thing guys, I probably will have people mention, well hey, what about tier 90 or tier 92? Well, it's entirely your choice if you want to use that here, since it does degrade. I mean, of course it's going to be the best to use here, but I'm all about that non-degradable for God Wars. Moving on to the inventory. Now your main focus is to stay alive, which will increase your kills per hour. Once you've learned how to do that, you can then input other things in such as Soul Split, etc., which will then increase your kills per hour further. Now the inventory is pretty simple. We have 2 War Master potions, which you can buy off the G. Now you'll need 2 for the hour. The Enhanced Excalibur, some note paper just in case, my Spring Cleaner, a tuned gold accumulator, the Enhanced Luck Potion, the Rune Pouch for my spell, we have some food, Super Restore potions, and finally don't forget an extra familiar pouch. Now for the bottom preset. You're probably wondering, why do you have Winter Storage Scrolls in your inventory? Well, instead of bringing note paper, I decided to use the storage scrolls to teleport my drops directly to the bank. Now this saved me inventory space, and I can pretty much camp here quite a while doing this if I bring some extra potions in my yak. So in the next part of this video, I will be showing you how to get there via 2 ways. Now there'll be a picture of the route from Berthorpe and a video of the route from Feminic. Don't forget your rock climbing boots. So once you've arrived at the dungeon, climb down the rope. However, if you are new to this dungeon, you will need to bring a rope with you to do this. Once you get down the rope, run to the Zilly's encampment and start getting your 40 KC. Now bear in mind, this is not God Wars 2, you cannot go back to the bank once you've got your KC, otherwise you will have to redo the whole KC again. Once you've got your 40 KC, you can enter Zilly's lobby safe area. Now for the instance. You can now choose either to buy an instance for 200k, which allows faster respawns and stops people joining your instance, or you can just enter the encounter, which has slower respawns, which isn't recommended as people can join that encounter. So when it comes to killing Zilyana at a beginner's level, you just want to use a lot of tank gear such as Sea Singers, Garno, and to make sure that you are protecting with the Mage Prayer. So as you can see, I start off by building my adrenaline to 100%, using those basic abilities. While you do that, you can apply Combust and right click to walk underneath her so she moves and takes more damage. You then want to use an ultimate such as Sunshine. Now if you don't have Sunshine unlocked, you can use Metamorphosis. then build up halfway and use those thresholds such as Wild Magic, Asphyxiate, and keep cycling through those basic abilities. Now you can use 2 defensive abilities here that will help you last longer in the encounter, which are Devotion and Debilitate. Now Devotion will negate all the damage you take for 10 seconds as long as you are protecting with the right prayer against the damage you are taking. Now the reason I'm standing in the southwest corner is so that one of the minions that spawns walks towards me and stacks on top of Zilly. So when I apply my AoE abilities such as Corruption Blast, Dragon Breath, Chain and Detonate, it will kill the minion underneath her. So if I was to use the ability Devotion and any of the minions are killed during the 10 seconds of this ability, it will extend the duration of Devotion by 5 seconds per death, giving me an extra protection through the fight. However, there is a cap on the Devotion ability of a total duration of 20 seconds. Now onto the other defensive ability called Debilitate. Now this ability reduces the damage taken from Zilly by 50% for 7.8 seconds. It can last longer depending on if you are wielding a shield as well as the tier of the shield you have equipped. Now by using those 2 defensive abilities combined with the Vamp Aura, the Blood Necklace, I didn't have to consume any food until one piece at 30 minutes into the instance. Now if you can use Soul Split, I would highly recommend that as it will for sure extend your duration in this instance, but if you feel like your DPS is not high enough to keep your HP maintainable, then I'd recommend to switch back to Protecting Mage and Devotion when Zilly does her magic hit, which looks like a lightning attack, and then you can just switch back to Soul Split. So that is the end of this video. Hope this guide helps out those new PVMers. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and share with your friends. See you all in the next one. Peace out.